Hi, it's me again, and I'm guessing you're as sick of the sound of my voice as I am, especially on the subject that I'm going to be approaching today. On a couple of videos, actually. This first one is the exact texts of the emails that I sent to my MP and the one reply I've had so far. I don't expect replies to the second two because they've only just been sent. But I did get a reply to my first one, shock horror, and I'm going to read everything except I'm omitting my real name, her name, and anything that refers to the constituency in which I live. But other than that, it's verbatim. So, starting off with the email I sent on the 10th of the 3rd this year. I'm a disabled constituent of yours who is concerned over the potential cuts to the disability benefits on which I rely. Although my main disability is severe depression, mixed personality disorder, and PTSD, I have a range of smaller physical health issues that prevent me from doing certain jobs. I contracted COVID in October 2020 and was on a ventilator in critical care. I now suffer from long COVID that has affected my memory and my cognitive functioning that also prevent me from various forms of work. I am therefore extremely worried at the proposed cuts, which it has been announced will be harder on people like me who are unable to work. It's hard enough to live on what little I get, and it is making my mental health worse knowing that the government of which you are a part is trying to drive me further into poverty and ill health, or potentially killing me and people like me. During the election campaign last year, you said that you were a supporter of disabled people's rights, but it seems as though you have done very little to back up your assertions. Disabled people have rights and have worth as human beings even if they are unable to work. In fact, disabled people help the economy by spending every penny they get back into the economy. Local shops and services, as well as the larger ones, rely on the turnover, no matter how small, of the ordinary people who spend, and not the rich people who hold their money in bank accounts or offshore accounts, thereby reducing the amount of money in the economy as a whole. I am asking you to stand up to Keir Starmer, Rachel Reeves and Liz Kendall and stand up for disabled people by opposing these disgusting cuts to disability benefits. I received an answer on the 18th of March at 6:04 p.m. Thank you for writing to me about the proposed reforms to the welfare system. I appreciate you taking the time to share your personal circumstances, and I'm incredibly sorry to hear about your experiences with severe depression, PTSD, and other health issues. I know that many people in the constituency were understandably alarmed by reporting in recent days which speculated about the nature of these changes. I was very concerned about a potential freeze to the value of personal independence payments, PIP, and am pleased to see this is not part of the government's plans. The social security system should always provide protection for those in greatest need, with a recognition that some severely disabled or ill people will never be able to work. I want to make it clear that the changes announced today will not leave anyone who is unable to work worse off. Change to the welfare system is needed to ensure it is sustainable into the future, to continue providing support to those who need it. The failures of the previous government left a spiralling welfare bill with too many people written off from work and trapped in welfare dependency, including the sick and disabled who want to find employment. I was pleased that the thrust of today's announcement was about putting the right support in place to help people stay in employment or get back to work. This includes the £1 billion investment in employment support for sick and disabled people, the scrapping of the work capability assessment, and the unhelpful binary labels it provides from 2028, and new right to try legislation guaranteeing that starting work in and of itself will never lead to someone being called for benefits reassessment. Alongside this, the severely disabled and long-term ill will no longer be required to undergo anxiety-inducing reassessments to access their benefits. I know that the changes to the eligibility for PIP will still be concerning to people who receive this payment. To be clear, the new eligibility will not affect current claimants, only applying to new claims and awards from 2026. I will be following the impact of these changes closely and will be pressing for greater clarity where needed. If you are unsure about how today's announcements might impact you or want support in understanding your entitlement to welfare support, please contact my office. My team and I are here to help. I sent a reply a new email on the 19th of March. Following on from my last email on the disability benefit cuts, I thought I'd pass on the following link to a YouTube video outlining why disability benefit cuts are unnecessary and harmful to your party's growth at all costs agenda. It is a nice companion piece to my last email and has other options for raising the £5 billion your party wishes to save. The video can be found at, and I've provided the link, and I'll provide a link to it under this video. The fact that the PIP changes may not actually apply to me does not change my opposition to and disgust at the proposals. I would feel both extremely lucky to have avoided the fate your party has in store for people like me, but also extremely disturbed by the fact that it would feel like I'm pulling up the ladder behind me if I were not to voice my distaste and abject horror at the proposals. As the criteria for disability benefits may well be tightened for new claims for Universal Credit, UC, and the disability part of that benefit, I'm still at risk of being caught out by the eligibility criteria changes. Because unlike the migration process from incapacity benefit to employment and support allowance, ESA, which was done seamlessly, it seemed like it was just a change of name of the benefit being paid out and a possible change of the day that the claimant was paid. In my case, it certainly was. Sorry, I'm editorializing a bit there. The transition between ESA and UC is not seamless. A claimant on ESA is sent a letter that their ESA claim is being terminated and that they have to make a new claim for UC. A new claim means lots of form filling, reassessment and stress, with possible problems leading to extended periods with no money coming in and the inherent stress and anxiety that brings. The only way to make the transition easier and less stressful is to make the process work seamlessly between ESA and UC, or to do what was promised by your leader on multiple occasions, and that is to scrap UC. I would have included this in my last email, but my long COVID-related brain fog was still in action when I wrote my last letter, and the video I gave you the link to earlier was only posted this morning. I hope you pay some heed to this email and its contents and the video that I have suggested you watch to gain a better understanding of the economic realities and the unnecessary performative cruelty of the disability benefit cuts and eligibility criteria reforms. I await your response with bated breath and with the hope that you will voice your opposition to these proposals now before it is too late. I read a bit about some of the other changes, and on that I sent another email on the 20th of March. Can you tell me what sort of reasonable adjustments the government is planning to make employers undertake for disabled people with mental health problems? It's not as if reasonable adjustments are a one-size-fits-all thing for people with physical or sensory impairments, and there's certainly not even a one-size-fits-all treatment for mental health conditions, even if every person in a group has the same mental health issue. So how is the government going to come up with a satisfactory list of reasonable adjustments that they will insist employers undertake to ensure a safe working environment for mentally ill people who feel they are able to work? And what is the government going to do about the high levels of reluctance within the job market to employ people with mental health issues? When I was well enough to consider working and had help from an excellent employment specialist, I received no response from any of the employers he helped me find vacancies with. And when I approached a company for a job for which I had experience, and I missed this bit out, I did this on my own with no help from anybody, they were the only company to even consider how they could support me, and I still didn't get the job. I can't hide the fact that I have mental health issues because as part of my role as a governor at the local adult college, I was on a local news website hosting a Depression Awareness Day event that I also organised. The video is still somewhere on YouTube. And after that event, I was interviewed a number of times by the same local news website on mental health related issues. By doing a good thing, I destroyed my ability to hide my mental health issues and became a target for the prejudices of employers in the local area. I can't go further afield looking for work due to my anxiety issues, and I can't expect my carer to escort me to work every day if I could work and I found a job outside the local area. I urge you once again to stand up to your party leadership on the issue of the cuts to disability benefits and the changes in the criteria, whilst also fighting for the rights of people with mental ill health who are already one of the most marginalised of the disabled community, and try to impress upon your senior colleagues that reasonable adjustments in the workplace are easier to implement for people with physical and sensory impairments than they are for the mentally unwell. Yet it is the mentally ill who will be most affected by the changes to the eligibility criteria. I hope to hear from you soon on this matter and with an answer that isn't straight from Labour HQ. As you can see, I don't mince my words. It's even more galling to receive in the reply I got from my MP that she said that basically it doesn't apply to you, so why are you worried about it? Well, it does. I'm up for I was reassessed last year. I was given a 4-year allocation of PIP. So these will affect me. Maybe not right now, but they will affect me. It's also galling that I saw a recent video clip of my MP standing up and saying that she's one of a very small percentage of people with mental health problems who are in employment. Wow, talk about pulling up the ladder behind you. If she is going to continue supporting these changes to the eligibility criteria that that affect the mentally ill in a greater proportion than it will affect any other group. Now, I said in one of my earlier videos that I wasn't going to do any more videos because of how I'm feeling at the moment, but I thought I'd do these because I am in a lot of pain and I am in a worry spiral about whether I'm going to be able to get the operation to get rid of the pain. So that's why there's going to be a couple more videos over the next couple of days. I can't help it. That's why I've also written emails about these disability benefit health cuts and the eligibility criteria changes, because the pain has a very good way of focusing the mind. So even though my brain does not work a lot of the time to its full extent, I am able to write letters, emails over an extended period, couple of hours or more, and it gives me something to take my mind off of the pain. So I don't know whether you've decided to write to your MP yet or not, but if you are disabled, especially if you've got mental health problems and will be magnitudes more of being harmed by these changes than even people with physical or sensory impairments, then think about emailing your MP, and you've got to do it now. If you found this video interesting, then please click the like button. If you agree with it, why not share it? And if you want more videos like this, then click the subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when I'm putting up a new video. And I'll see you again very soon.